Hello, hello. I have some journals to share today. I absolutely love how these have turned out, especially the covers. I'm really pleased with them. They are all kind of floral botanical theme. This one is quite big, and these two are, I mean, the pages in these are A6, but the cover and the trims and everything else makes them bigger, and this one the pages are A5, but again the trim and everything makes them a bit bigger. I've made these using my digital kit, my new digital kit called Floral Delight, and I've also used what I've made to create an embellished kit because I loved it so much. I wanted to you know, make some lovely tags and then create a digital from that. So these ones are 6.5 by about 5, and this one is just over 9 by 6.5 inches. So I'm going to show you the small ones first, and I will zoom in a little bit so you can see. Now they all will be in my Etsy store, and they also have a mix of original tags and digital prints from the kit. So there is a seam binding dyed closure. I'll just show you the cover. It doesn't look quite so yellow. This is it's coffee stained calico fabric. There is some of that gorgeous sack material that I got from Abbey, and I absolutely love how it looks, and I'm a bit gutted because never ever see it here, but I'm going to try and find something similar. Muslin. This book page, this book that I kind of took it apart before I really looked at it. It's about 107 years old. Well, it is 107 years old, so it's mega old. And then that's an image from my new kit. The images on the front I've printed onto an ivory cardstock, and it gives them a really gorgeous kind of vintage soft look. There are some in here that are printed onto photo paper. So it's fabric on the inside as well, all stitched round. Most of the book pages are tea or coffee stained. These are both digital tags, and this one has a poem or part of a poem, and again book page. This one is one of the images from the unembellished kit, and then the tag is from the embellished kit. So there's book pages, lots of trim, little garment pin with a bead, graph paper. This is from a vintage shorthand book. This is an original tag, and this is a printed one from the digitals, and it's printed onto heavyweight matte photo paper. Music paper. Another vintage book page, and in here there's another digital tag with a little mini tag. This is an original envelope. Each of the small ones has there's a little charm on a paper clip. There is a double book page which would make an awesome tag if you wanted to make a tag, and this is an empty envelope. The other one has something in it, but this is an original. So each one has an original and a copy, or a digital. An original and a digital. That goes on there. Lovely Jibid's idea, printed onto some of that little, there was some little pieces of the sack stuff left, and I didn't want to waste it, so sewn that on there. Lots of sewing in this book. It was really nice to do some sewing. This is another original tag. More trim. Another pocket with an upside down digital tag. Vintage book page note paper. This will be the digital envelope. This is from a vintage book, and again it makes gorgeous tags if you wanted to do something with that. And this is the digital envelope. Oh, and in there is one of the original kit images. I'll try and do this fairly quickly, not bore you too much. Book page in the centre, and then I kind of went to town. There's little beads on a string or trim. These are both digital tags, and that's another one of the digital tags. I hope I'm in frame. Yeah. I'm in frame, aren't I? Yeah. That's another digital and a little journaling tag. This is an original and this is a digital. This is the original. And these little sewn pockets. The other side of that shorthand. These are in the kit, and I'm going to be doing a tutorial hopefully straight after this video on how you can print it and use it. This is an original. There's an original in each of the small ones, and then there's a little digital tag there. There is a T card here, and in here, this is from the entomology kit, and I've printed onto vellum and then popped a little tag behind that. And that just slides in there, and then paper clips on, and then on the other side there is another piece of ephemera from using part of the entomology kit. And that's the back with 2 more of the digital tags. So that is the first one. The second one I will be a bit quicker because you can imagine it's going to be very similar to that one. The bigger one is a little bit different. Frame. So they're both digital tags. A couple of the pages, they both have the digital tags in. So that again is a digital. I had to use the digitals to go in there. And there's the little garment pin. Another little bead. I'll just show you the edges in a moment with the, that's a digital. I had to use this page. It was folded like this in the book, in the music book, and it's like old first half of the 1900s, and I was going to leave it like that because it was how it was in the book, and it's obviously been like that for a long time. So, but I really love that page. I don't know why that appealed to me so much. There's another little bit of that sack. Lace pocket. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last one. This is vintage lace. I managed to get hold of a little bit, well, I actually managed to, I bought the rest of the roll that she had. So this is the little slit pocket, and again there's a little digital in that one. And there is another little entomology one, that's the bee, but the same thing, it's printed onto vellum, and a T card in there. And then on the back there's a piece of ephemera with another piece of the entomology kit, the ladybug. Upside down digital tag, and this one is an original tag. Then it's the same pocket. More vintage book page. This is the original envelope with, oh, I have to, I'm probably going to do a little video on these, but I've used Gayle's tutorial to make some dangles. So this is the original, and inside there is one of the digital kit. I probably shouldn't waste time putting this back together, should I? Oh, and there is again the double vintage book page. And the centre with the beads on the string. That's an original. And these are both from the digital kit. I'm not quite with it. I've got shingles back, would you believe? It's nowhere near as bad as last time, but they're back. They're like, they never go away. That's a digital. Again, the vintage book page. and this is the digital version of the envelope. I'm not going to remove it because there's nothing in that one. This is an original. Lots of trim and like I said, lots of sewing in this. It was nice to actually really get into making some journals. These are both digitals, and that's the back. So if I just quickly show you the charms. So I've used Gayle's technique to make these, and there's a little one on there. There's three on each. These little ones are the gorgeous little charms that came from Marsha. And then there's the little bell. So that's those two. And let me show you this one. I love this one. I've used a 5-hole pamphlet stitch to sew this one in. I absolutely love how the cover came out for this. It's just, I don't know what it is about this. I don't know. I think this particular one is my favourite cover so far. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Sorry if that made you a little bit wobbly. Again, there's the feed sack, that's it, feed sack and muslin and this like mega rolled paper. I didn't mean to shout at you then. These are gigantic tags. These are all originals. There are 3 of these, but yeah, they're big. And that's the original poem, piece of the poem. Dictionary page, more vintage book page, which has been tea or coffee stained. There's a mix of both in here. This is an original, this is a digital, but it's like a muslin collage. This is some of the typewriter instruction book, lace pocket and book page and a digital tag. And I've put the digitals in these lace pockets because they're a lot lighter than the originals. Music paper. I used kind of Izzy B's. There was obviously this tour when I tea stained it, and I just thought I'd try and sew an extra little piece on there, which I quite like, and it also does create this kind of little pocket if you wanted to hide something in there. This one is obviously much bigger, and I forgot to show you the back of those, but I've backed them with a fairly, well, it is a lightweight cardstock. So there is a little digital, a little tea card, another little digital. There's one of the entomology onto the vellum with a little tag behind it. And in here is the second of the original pieces of poetry. And this is in the digital kit. So what I thought I'd do is I have printed this off. I can get this paper clip back on. I've printed this off and cut it out, and I'm going to do a little tutorial using this one, hopefully after this video. I've got some happy mail to show too. Vintage book page. This is an original, this one is a digital. And this is the envelope in this journal. And there is a digital tag in there, and obviously the original is also in this journal, and that's another one of Gayle's dangle ideas. So there is a piece of the shorthand book, and this is another original tag, and in this side there is one of the entomology index windows and another original tag. Oh, that's just so beautiful. Love that page. Well, that's got a little bit bent, and that will flatten. That's a piece of the feed sack with the print on. There is an original and a digital in this little sewn pocket. ledger paper and lined paper. There's 2 of the digitals. Another vintage book page, and on here there is a really old double page of a poetry book. There is another original tag there and a little dangle. There's a little garment pin on this tab, and what I did is when I sewed on the lace I just raised it a little bit and turned that into a tab. There's another digital. The other side of the typewriter lesson. This is an original and this is a digital, and this is just printed onto a super, it's like photo paper, but it's copier paper weight. It's slightly heavier than copier paper. This is a second little tab slit thing. This one is not in the kit. One of my wonderful subscribers recommended punching little holes, and I didn't put this in the kit because it would be very difficult to kind of, well, I suppose you could have still seen it, but I didn't put this one in the kit. So there's another little entomology tag, another digital in here. To kind of what I did is, some of the tags are really big, so I've shrunk them down. They're in the kit twice. They're in the kit full size, and then they're in the kit as little miniatures because I thought they'd go in here really well. And this is another digital slid in that pocket. Oh, this is turning into a bit of a long one, isn't it? I'm sorry. Lined paper. And this is the last page, and these are both original tags in the back. There is one more thing. As I was finishing the sewing of the journal, I looked across my desk and saw I had left a page. So this is a cartridge paper page, and it should have been in this journal, but it's a happy little accident because I've turned it into a little pouch, which I think is really cute. And what I've done is I've filled it with bits and pieces that were going to go in, well, these were going to go into the envelope, but these bits were going to go into the journal. So there's the vintage book page, there is another piece of the shorthand page, there is another double page, it is a double page, I promise you, of the vintage book, and then there are lots more of the full size digitals that you can use in the journal, or you can you know, use in other journals. So it was, you know, it worked out quite well that I didn't sew this page in. You know, the trim was all on it was all ready to go, and just as I finished I saw it, so I've popped that into the back as a little pouch. So that is the large Floral Delight journal, and I do love it, but it will be in my Etsy store. I've got more fingers and thumbs now because I've been so long. I will put a link down below. I'm definitely going to be, you know, straight back with a Happy Mail video from the lovely Mags. Hi Mags! And hopefully I will be back a little bit later with the tutorial, and we're gonna, I know we've only just made one of these, but obviously this is a digital, so we're going to work with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you soon. I hope you've had a marvellous weekend. Bye!